Hi, I'm Mike Sharkwriter, and we'll be talking about Star Trek Online with a task force operation guide, which will be remaining Klingon. And the big question is, why talk about an FTO? Remaining Klingon is the latest TFO that's been released in the games. Unlike many of the other TFOs that could be completed with quote herd DPS, you need to be aware of things happening mid-match to progress. Unlike like originally the TFOs were built like traditional MMO raids. The and quite a few of the ground deep ground 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 TFOs still show some of the remnants of this stuff, but they feature a lot more puzzles and quite a bit of party coordinations and sometimes some skill checks to cover both ground and also they also cover ground and space combat. Although they weren't around when I went to started playing. So, remain Klingon. Remain Klingon it has multiple moving parts and one in 5 chances that you'll be randomly picked to do a required task. You will need to be able to move around the map on demand, or you'll be cause delay in progress for the TFO. And the best way to learn what to do is to break it down and then go through it piece by piece. So let's get started. So we got to give a quick show of the map. Now this is a rough map of the place. This is because the Starfleet deltas are representing the players, and the two Klingon icons represent the Tag and the Christak. And we'll better move on. Let's just give you an idea, and this is what the map looks like right when you warp in at the beginning, and when you have that part talk about what you're going to need to do. Usually, you come along and get and everything moves, and then the party usually comes something like this. Now, these stars represent the ads. These are regularly coming in on demand and stuff like that. Now we're going to break up. Now usually the tag and the Christak will target 2 players at the same time, but we'll be just breaking it down to doing the Christak targeting. So, but yes, the players are usually ticking on the ads here, but it's just not. It's really just nothing to worry about. Too much to worry about if you can't, because those should be the easy ones to take down. So if you were watch playing along, the Christak tag takes a player, and the tag will constantly get a green ring around it, as you can see here. Now the player has to start moving. The player that's targeted, that is, has 30 seconds to start move towards pretty much right on top of the tag, and as when he does so, as you see, he's moved along now, and you can see here the target is targeted now, and it's already locked on. So if he moves himself a little bit, can move himself away, and boom. This only brings him out of cloak, and then any players within 4 kilometers, such as those 2 players, will be able to upload a hack. This will take several minutes to and move and do stuff like that. Right. That is pretty much that needs to be done about another 4 times, and you can complete the tag. But not only that, at the same time, the tag will target someone near him for them to fly over to the Christak. So here I've just quickly done what it's more or less the exact same thing, other than the tag takes other than you basically go fly from near the tag to the Christak and drops off a tag drop off a get his target around the same spot. Now, unlike the tag, which you just need to be flying close to it for all that time, you actually need to use some DPS. So when and firing phasers and stuff, as you see here, I'm just using those dotted lines to represent targeted phasers. Now, this sounds all a bit confusing and stuff, but we better talk about what I call the targeting rules. Now, the targeting rules: no one will be targeted if no one will be targeted if the targeted by one ship if either the virus is uploading for the tag, or the cloak is targetable for the Christak, or the barge is completed for one ship. You can only be targeted by one ship at any one time, so you will not need to worry about being attacked. You need to be moving it with going two places at once. But you can be targeted relatively back to back, and I have had that a few times myself. The ships won't target you if you're near the intended destination. Apparently, the distance to the destination is a factor to who's getting picked, but usually the further away you are, the more likely you'll be picked. If you miss to get towards your intended destination, a new target will be picked with about 15 seconds after the target missed. So let's remind us about moving. Now, you have about 30 seconds from being targeted to reach your destination. The time is actually shown on your ship, and as part of a overlay on your character. It's 30 seconds is quite a bit of time, but you also have to remember you're flying. So it depends on how good fast your ship is, but you may want to be considering certain items and abilities to use once you're in here. First of all, the easiest to obtain is evasive maneuvers. This is actually picked up during the tutorial before you actually have the ability to start TFOs. So that's very much a easy thing to remember. You've also got engine batteries. Now these are not as good as using the evasive maneuvers, but those can give your engines a very good boost of power if you need to. You can buy them from many vendors for a relatively low amount of EC. However, you can quite often find them quite easily dropping from defeated enemies as well. Now, quite often some players will be using the abilities called emergency power to engines, which is a bridge officer ability which you can find underneath Admiral Quinn, or in the same place where I've mentioned on my Klingon walk around. And there are many other places you can get stuff, including what I like to call evasive maneuvers in a can, which is actually a semi-useful ability, which is partly not doing the Spectre's arc, which we haven't done on the Scarlet's or Tax storyline. So Those are the two major things you need to be wary of, but there are a few additional things. Every so often there will be a repair ship that comes up. All you have to do is take them down. Repair ships will undo one phase of damage, as hacking as you don't on the tag. So you do need to be so you want to be aware of this so you can actually do your job reasonably well. Now there is an additional escaping birds of prey. Now these are coming from Kronos. I don't watch these. These are usually for additional bonus marks, I believe. I'm not sure if you should shoot them down or not, but this is not. But I mean, these are just for bonus marks and should be considered last on the things. I didn't even bother to remove the phaser from that most right one. So here we are in the actual TFO. I'm flying a Romulan warbird. This is the legendary one, but anyway, this, as you can see here, this is where we are. As you can see, the green orb ahead of us was represented on the map, and that's Kronos. And you can see the tag and the Christak ahead of us as well. Now, I'll be talking you through bits and pieces. I've left the time at the bottom of the screen. There, you'll see it might jump up a quick randomly. That's purely because I'm not showing you the entire 12 minutes of gameplay. Now you can see that this ship's a very powerful ship and set up really well, but I'm now about to be targeted, and here it is. Now, because of my singularity UI element, you can't see the timer. You can just about see it now. It just turned yellow. We're over halfway done, and now it turns red. I left a finger there. Left a target to the rear, and you can also see on the side of the screen the UI has changed to show the status of each ship and the health of the cooking device that what we just had destroyed. You may have said that Adept has getting out commands. I recommend trying doing it, trying to follow those as much as you can. And in the middle of clearing out the ads really well. Only just disable the cooking device. Look at again. Now here I decided that it's better to just go over to the other side and disable this quick attack that way. And you can see another player bringing the his target to them on the progress way over. As you can hear, the Christak's just got a repair ship coming towards him. As you can hear, the tank has got a repair ship and needs to get his virus uploaded as well at the same time. So, and then goes destroying the repair ship. Well, you've seen there, TV destroying all this. And that's just destroying everything as fast as I can actually get over there. And that took days where the good progress and you don't play just coming over and you see the time on the planet or what it is. As you can hear, remember the team taking down the last step of the distract cooking system is going to be put from here on out until the end of the match when we get the target disabled. You still need to remember to pick out the spaceships as you see here. Show you this screenshot to show off the actual UI or the actual overlay on your ship when it happens. And this is actually applying to Dotami's Eustace's Tunis. As you can see, he is here on his ship, or her ship. They're slowly making the way. They should be slowly making the way across. Oh, not by the look of it, because with 10 seconds to go, I don't think they will make it across in time. Now, lots of loads of stuff. Once again, you can see now that I've just picked where I'm now final bows set towards the ship. And now, trying to now actually tag support and deal with the kickback at the same time. So, I'm here about to do get myself in positioning a bit better. I should also point out that the Swirler here is one of my highest efficient ships, and it's got a lot of in-game gear that isn't easily obtainable. Then the Cease character is one of my older characters in the game. So here, the tag's gone, the stacks is now gone as well.
Victory will be ours. Cease all hostility. The reign of Jimpok has ended, along with the war. This is Lorel, mother of the Empire.
And we now actually have done. And yeah, admittedly I lied about the 12 minutes, but only just.
Our allies on the surface have brought an end to the battle.
But finally, I've got to say this. Turn off your music and listen to the dialogue, because that's going to be the best way to know, because the game will talk about it, but and talk about how to do it while actually doing it. So you can, so you better be aware to move and listen and when on demand. So it's been Mike Writer. See you guys next time.